All right, we are starting the show with a very heart-wrenching, a gut-wrenching incident that has come to light from Loni Kalbhor area of Pune, where a 5-year-old boy who was playing on his scooty inside a society complex was actually hit and run by a car, resulting in his instant death. The entire incident has been captured on CCTV cameras installed inside the society, and now the video has rightfully gone viral, with many questions being asked about where exactly are the safe spaces for our children. The deceased child has been identified as a 5-year-old Nishkarsh Ashwat Swami. Nishkarsh's father, Ashwat Narayan Swami, who's 40, lives in the Joy Nest Society in Loni Kalbhor area. He's filed a complaint at the local police station, based on which the police have registered a case against the car owner. You can see that video on our screens, that car, that blue vehicle that actually ran over that 5-year-old who instantly died. This happened on 19th of January at around 3:30 in the afternoon, typically the time when kids come back from their schools and are playing in society compounds. Little did Nishkarsh know that this is set to happen. He was playing with his grandmother, Saraswati Reddy, who was also inside the society premises. And that is when a speeding car came, and you know what happened next, which is that boy was instantly killed at the spot itself. The car driver did quickly get out of his vehicle, but it was too late. The doctors declared him dead after examination when he was taken to the local hospital. Anuj Rayate joins me live on the broadcast for more on this. Anuj, this is a gut-wrenching story that comes to light. And frankly, when you look at the video, the first thing that comes to mind is that anybody who's living in societies, you, me, our viewers watching this broadcast anywhere across the country, all would be wondering that this could happen to any one of us. Any gated compound can actually see a horrific instance like this actually playing out.
It can very clearly happen to any one of us. I mean, especially when you look at the visuals of this 40-45 second long video, one understands that, yes, the driver probably did not see that a child is playing in those premises, and that is why he tried to speed the car and go away. But as soon as the accident happened, he did try to get out of the car and put the child at the back seat. But it was a little too late, as you've already said. This fateful incident happened on Monday at around 3:30 p.m., where this child was playing with his grandmother. And as we've already mentioned it before, when this incident happened, the driver did try to get the child at the back seat of his vehicle, and the neighbors also helped him do that. And after that, he immediately took him to the nearby private hospital, but it was too late. As far as the legal proceedings on this are concerned, the family and the father especially has filed a complaint against the driver. The driver was not a part of the society. He had only come here to drop his friend and was on his way outside of the gated compound or the gated society. But now the police, since the last 3 days, are noticing pattern. They're trying to understand whether the car was actually overspeeding. Was there any chance that the driver could get a look of the children playing around? Because from the CCTV footage, it seems that it would have been very difficult for the driver to understand that there's a child who's trying to come in front of the vehicle. Of course, the child himself was completely unaware of the movement of any vehicles around him. But that is exactly what the police are trying to evaluate at this moment. But the complaint that has been filed by the father mentions that the rash driving is something that the police needs to take seriously. Besides that, the people living in the society have also complained about repeated incidents of this nature. Back to the studio.
Right, Anuj. Thanks much for bringing us up to speed with the legal aspects of it, the police complaint that has been filed. But at the end of the day, when you look at this video, the only thing that comes to at least my mind is that there are no safe spaces that are left for children, even with inside gated communities. Anurag Kulshrestha, who's the president of Tracks Road Society Safety, it's an NGO. He does a lot of work in road safety. I want you to weigh in here, Mr. Kulshrestha. We can keep having an intellectual discussion about whether the car was at 15 kilometers per hour or at 20 kilometers per hour. But the larger question is, when I watch this video, when I see this, is that all of us live in gated communities, in gated compounds. All our viewers watching this broadcast must be wondering, there are dark spots in every society, in every compound. It could happen to any child in any of those compounds.
Yes, Gauri. Actually, we are having very limited space in such type of gated community or compounds. Of course, when I see this video, hardly I'm getting the mistake of driver, because he was very nominal speed, maybe 15, 20 or 25 max. And even you will see the speed breaker also in front of him. So he has to slow down again. But technically, I'm telling you one thing, because the driver sitting in a car is at a eyes, basically at a height of 3 meters or 3 feet, sorry. And this 3 feet height, if any object is passing from left or right, driver is unable to see that particular object, or maybe this child in this case. So it was completely invisible. And second thing, it is called blind spot. So basically,
Yeah, I
any
mentioned,
object.
Mr. Kulshresht, these blind spots. But I want to ask from you that if we were to take this an incident as a learning, what should be our top 3 learnings to ensure no child ever undergoes this, no family ever undergoes this trauma of losing a 5-year-old to an incident like this?
Number one, family should avoid such type of maybe the playing ground park. This is a parking space. They must avoid this thing, especially in case of the child, because it's totally parking space. It's clearly visible. Second thing, we are never focusing on the speeding or maybe the over speeding, lane driving, and no promotion of any or the precaution to have something while driving in India. Because throughout the India, if you'll see, everybody is promoting the speed. Everybody. दिल्ली से देहरादून 2 घंटे में, दिल्ली से मुंबई 10 घंटे में, दिल्ली से मेरठ आधा घंटे में. मतलब every day, every moment, we are in a condition of promoting the speed, and then we are crying for over speeding. So this is the common sense or the sense of traffic in India. It is promoted by all these things.
Okay,
Yes, Gauri.
so yeah, the speeding culture is to blame for how we now have a tendency to drive rashly, even inside societies where, frankly, you can say that the driver is sitting at 3 feet height, and therefore he couldn't watch and he couldn't really see that child. But you got to anticipate all this because you're inside a gated community, you're inside a society. It could be a senior citizen going out for a walk in the afternoon, it could be a child playing there. This is not expressway where you can actually drive so fast. But final question I want to ask you this, Anurag Kulshresht, is that how do we bring about some standardization in terms of RWAs, putting some rules, some norms in place?
Yeah, it's very simple. They can display the speed sign board over there, maybe 15 or 20. And apart from this, physical measurements must be there. Like you have seen one speed breaker over there. So multiple layer of speed breaker must be there every after maybe 20 meters or 15 meters in such type of gated community or gated society. So these are the only precaution. And second precaution is family must ensure to avoid such conditions. They should they never allowed such students or the kids to play in such a manner. They have to take care of all these things. And as I have seen, no adult was there with that child. It was coming out from the parked area suddenly.
Right.
So I think they must be accompanied by some adult, at least in such conditions. So these are the common precautions by a driver, by a normal person, by the
taken, and
anyone.
learnings that you actually end up only coming, learning when something like this happens. Anurag Kulshresht, I'm going to leave it there.